Welcome to the Sunnydale Diaries, a podcast where I, Sean,
And I, Melanie.
are watching and discussing Buffy the Vampire Slayer and talking about how the related themes of the episodes impact our lives.
They're very impactful.
They are. Today we are talking about Season 3, Episode 4, Beauty and the Beasts.
Beauty and the Beasts. Well,
I
hopefully this episode is not very impactful to us.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, this episode does touch a lot on domestic violence, but if you've been listening to us for a while now, we like to keep it fun, lighthearted.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of seriousness in the world, and we just want to bring a laugh into
That's right.
people's lives. I
That's right.
feel so. We are still going to talk about a theme of the episode,
Right.
really based on the title, Beauty and the Beast. I'm assuming that you saw the original animated movie from 91, 92,
Oh, the Disney movie?
the Disney movie.
Yes, of course. Yes. I think I saw it in the movie theater.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. And that was the first one where they used computer animation. I remember that was such a big
Oh,
deal. Like that
oh,
whole, when they're dancing in the ballroom, yeah, that was such a
yeah.
big deal then.
Yeah. I remember seeing a clip of something, not online because we weren't on the
There
internet
was
yet,
no
but yeah,
online.
yeah. But like it was like a pencil drawing, and they showed it making it like computer animation, and yeah, I remember like there's like one scene where like the camera like kind of like does like a panoramic around them
Yeah,
while
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
dancing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like, "Woo!" We had no
I
idea what was coming.
Did you enjoy the movie?
Yes, I think I did.
I did too.
I've seen it many times since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My 10th grade girlfriend had made me a mixtape, and it was like when we didn't say I love you yet, but we were getting there. And one of the songs she put on there was something there that wasn't there before from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, still get a little
Aw,
teary
yeah,
eyed when I hear
oh,
that song.
yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. And then I'm assuming you also saw the live action one. No, really.
With Hermione? I didn't see it.
What is her name? I'm blanking out right now.
Emma
Watson.
Watson.
There we go.
I
Okay.
want to say Emma Thompson, but that's not it. Emma Watson.
That'd
I
been a
didn't see
different
it.
movie.
I
Yeah,
did
the
see the
first.
musical. They had the musical at the Shakespeare in the Park in St. Pete. And
Yep.
so I did go to that just this last, I guess it was still winter when I went. And
Mm.
that was good. That was
Okay.
really good. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Some people didn't really dig Emma Watson in that role, but I liked it. I thought she did a good
Yeah.
job. I thought her singing was good, and yeah.
Was it scene for scene the same as the animated, or were there songs that weren't in the animated, or were there
I
differences you remember?
I was slight. I think there may have been a song or two that were in the originally animated, but not in the Emma Watson version.
Okay. I know in the musical there were songs that weren't in the animated. It was kind of throwing me.
Mm.
I fear change, Sean.
Yeah, same.
It's like listening to remastered recordings of songs that I know, like Duran Duran songs. I'm like, "Ah, that's not the
That's not
right.
right.
No, that's not it. He's supposed to say ooh ooh there, not
or
ooh
when
ah.
or when they or like bands are performing a song live
Yes.
and they
Yeah.
change it. Like, no, I don't like that. Um, and then I just started looking up some other, movies, TV shows, books that had, a Beauty and the Beast ish theme.
Okay.
Um, Shrek, that's a big
Yes.
one.
Oh, good one. Yes.
When I started reading, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I just
Oh,
I
Shrek.
just heard they're making another Shrek sequel with the original cast, like Michael Myers and Eddie
Oh,
Murphy, Cameron Diaz. It was Eddie Murphy, right? Played Donkey.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Coming on 2026, I think.
Oh,
That's 30 years of Shrek.
I don't know if I saw the most recent Shrek. I think the last one I saw was the one with Justin Timberlake, was a bratty prince or something.
Oh, I don't even think I saw that one.
No.
Huh.
Yeah.
Not,
Those were good
not,
movies.
yeah. They,
They
they
were
made me
good.
laugh.
Those were pretty smartly written movies. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Not my gumdrop buttons.
The one where they, in the second one where they went to, far, far away to
Hmm.
meet her parents, and, there was a scene where I don't know who it was, some of the characters, and they were getting in trouble with the cops. They did it like a cops scene, like, it was funny. That's funny.
What other one? King Kong
Yeah, I guess
ish.
so.
Last Sunday, and we had a tropical storm slash hurricane blow through. So my
Yeah.
husband and I were just watching movies, and he picked Kong versus Godzilla.
Drew and
I was
I
editing. I was editing last week's episode while we were watching that, and I'm
and you
glad
didn't miss anything, I'm sure.
I mean,
When we first came up here to close on this house and we were in the hotel, we were flipping through the hotel channels and that was on, and it was awful.
yeah.
It was
Only
so
way to describe it.
bad. It was
Just
so
bad.
bad. Like, not
Yeah.
even so bad it's good.
No, it was just bad.
Not even, like, self-aware bad, it was just bad. Yeah,
Just yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Is there
Uh,
even well, no, that okay, so you're talking about the original King Kong. Yes.
yeah, yeah. The
The
original one.
80s, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Kind of a stretch because he's not a person, but he
He is a
loved her.
beast. Yeah. Well,
He's a
oh,
beast.
I came up with one, that in a book form, the fairy porn books that we love, the Sarah Moss books.
A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yeah,
Yes, that one. Yes,
yeah,
that's Beauty and the
yeah.
Beast, right? Mhm.
Definitely. Yeah, Tamlin and Feyre. Yep.
Oh, good look at you.
I just finished reading them. So
How do you say her name?
Feyre.
Feyre.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not now. Only because I've seen a ton of TikToks about it. I don't know in my head
Oh,
when I was
oh.
reading it. That's how
Yeah,
I was pronouncing it.
that's what I
But
was gonna say. I think when I read those books, I have a really hard time with fantasy novel names. Like,
so
throughout the book, I'm going, "I don't know if I'm saying that right in my head."
I've been listening slash watching this podcast called Between Pages and Friends, and it's two like female best friends, and then their husbands, and they're all reading The Throne of Glass, also by Sarah J. Maas.
Yes.
They're funny.
Yeah.
Actually, I reached out to them about Descript, what we're using to record, because they have a four way, like four camera, and I want to know how they did that. So that's how they told me about Descript. But
Ah.
they, they start out each episode with a pronunciation guide of like these are all
Oh,
like the names and places.
smart.
Um, there's and they decided they're going off like the audiobook pronunciation, and some of them they're like we don't agree with this, but we're sticking with it.
Mhm.
So like Manon. How would you pronounce that name?
Manon. What?
Okay.
Is
No,
that
no,
what they
it's
said?
not right or wrong, but that's how. In my mind, it was Manon,
Oh,
but
Manon.
there's
By Manon.
there's really no right or wrong, but yes, I definitely agree that A Court of Thorns and Roses, big time, Beauty and the Beast, Stockholm
You
Syndrome.
know why I say it that way, Sean? Because of the craft. And the craft, that's who they're praying to, Manon. Manon, that's
Oh yeah.
the
I
whatever.
love that movie.
It's a good one,
I know we talked about it like in the Witch episode way back in
I'm
season
sure.
one, but man, I love that movie. Such a good movie.
That's an
Um,
oldie.
96, yeah, that was my first semester in college.
Just like this show, oldie.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes. You know what that did you ever see that, the Disney one?
Haven't.
No?
No.
I remember when that came out and I had issues with, what's her name? The girl in that? Esmeralda?
Hmm. How
Yeah.
come?
I don't know, she looked like a little tart.
Wow. Okay.
Judgmental.
Yeah. Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
He's beastie.
Yes.
You
I
don't
know
agree with me.
you love that play, huh? I know your husband loves
I
that
love the
play.
soundtrack.
You love the soundtrack.
Yes.
That's kind of, on par with what we're reading here. That's kind of an abusive, relationship too, isn't it?
Big
Phantom of the
time.
Opera.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Really.
I
Yeah.
know. When I went to see that for the first time, I came out and I was like, "I didn't like it." I didn't like that story at all. Why does she keep
Mm.
going with him? What the heck?
I know. Well, and that's the whole thing. Like, sometimes she thinks it's like the ghost of her father, but yeah, it's got some issues. I did like the movie. Gerard Butler, Emmy Rossum. It's like
Oh, I don't think I saw it.
actually,
All right.
again,
Well,
I
maybe
saw
I'll
it.
watch it. Maybe I'll like it better than the play.
I think you would like the movie better.
Yeah? Okay.
Um, there's again, TikTok, just saw a clip of that movie this morning, and it's a line towards the end where like the line is like, when will the flames at last consume us? But the way she says consume, like it's very like guttural and forceful, like not gonna sing, but when will the flames at last consume us? But it's feminine, but it's deep, it's
Yes.
kind of hot.
All right.
All right, well, we got 10 minutes out of that.
Wait, well, okay, wait, what else did we we didn't talk about, let's see. I looked this up on Wikipedia. This is where I was looking. Um, let me see. Where else?
Wikipedia.
Oh, I did see under modern uses and adaptations that there is a screenplay adapted into a graphic novel in 2012 by Alan Moore. Alan Moore, I'm going to look, is did Watchmen
Okay.
and and Batman the Killing Joke and V for Vendetta. So I think I'm
Hmm.
going to check this out, this Fashion Beast.
Okay.
Um what else? Oh, we didn't talk about the 80s show with did we talk about that before?
I feel like
Beauty and
maybe
the
we talked
Beast.
about that in a previous episode. I don't know why it would have come up.
I
Maybe
don't
with
know
Oz and
either.
Werewolf.
Beauty and the Beast with Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton.
It's come up because as soon as you say those names, I don't know. Maybe it was like during like the werewolf episode
And
phases.
it was such a like a romance series, I remember. It was like the show your mom watched. And
Mm,
he was like this beast that lived in the sewers, and his name was Vincent, and he was so romantic and sweeping music, and I didn't watch it, but it was a
I
big
know.
deal
Yeah.
back then. It was like must see TV kind of thing. It was.
In in the 2010s, there was a Beauty and the Beast series on the CW with Kristen. I'm probably not going to pronounce this right.
Cavallari.
No, Kristen
Kruk.
Kristen Krug, yeah,
Kruk.
from
Right.
Smallville.
Yes.
Like, a Krug is how I was going to say it.
I don't know.
Never watched it. It's a
No.
CW show,
CW.
but yeah, that was on a couple of seasons.
Apparently in 1987 there was something called on Hello Kitty's Furry Tale Theater. There was a Hello Kitty version called
Beauty and the Beast,
Kitty and the Beast. And now
huh?
I think I'm going to have to look that up and find a link for everybody because that sounds amazing.
I bet it's on YouTube somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, please.
Oof.
That's going to go in the episode description if you can find it.
All right. And then they remember the show Once Upon a Time that was on ABC for a while?
Yes, I was going
They
to
had
add
a
it to my
Beauty
list,
and the
and I
Beast.
didn't.
They had a Beauty and the Beast arc.
Yep.
There's
Did
a
you?
lot of Beauty and the Beast stuff out there.
Mhm. Did you watch Once Upon a Time?
I, I did until they brought in the Frozen characters, and I was like, I'm out.
You're out.
The
Yeah.
concept I liked, the first couple seasons I liked, but then when they were running low on we have to bring in new characters and jamming them in, I was like, oh no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When they brought in Anna and Elsa, I was done.
That was it for you.
That was it for me.
And then the guy who played like Prince Charming, I think is who it was. He then went on to Manifest, which I know you loved.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows.
Did you ever finish it? Did you ever watch that last
No,
season?
no, no. I was spitefully not watching the last season. No.
Okay.
Did you watch it just for completion's sake? No.
It's on the list. Someday
Oh,
I
no.
probably will. I was flipping through Netflix the other day looking for a new series, and that was there. I was like, no,
No.
no. Uh,
You don't need to see how it ends?
I could go on Wikipedia and read a nice little synopsis, and I'll be okay.
There you go. I like it.
Um, you want to start talking about the episode?
Let's delve in.
Beauty and the Beasts.
Let's do it. Beauty and the Beasts. Oh, that was a Go-Go's album name. It was
Oh
Beauty
yeah.
and the Beat.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Beauty and the
Okay.
Beast was also a song, I think, by Justin Bieber and maybe David Guetta.
Oh. After my time.
Yeah.
This newfangled music you kids are listening to.
Hey, you knew who Chapel Roan was when I
I
asked you
do
about
know
it before
Chapel
we
Roan. Cha
started recording.
I knew Chapel Roan because she was on, NPR Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Oh, really?
She was, on the Not My Job segment, and then I
Oh,
went and listened to some of her stuff, and now you can't avoid it, she's everywhere.
no, no. My
She's like,
niece would never.
she's like the, Billie Eilish of the day,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. Okay, so we start off with some narration, that's a first.
Yes, and, like,
Yeah.
weird, like, visuals of a forest or something.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Buffy is.
recognize the passage that was being read?
I did.
Ooh.
I read Call of the Wild for a
Oh.
book report. It was either late elementary school or middle school, but I definitely did read it.
Oh, okay, I never read it. Should I read it?
I don't think I liked it that much.
No? Okay.
No, I mean it's it's a classic, but
Okay.
there's fairy porn out
I have a list on my Goodreads, uh, shelf called Books I Should Have Read.
there.
Books I was assigned to read, but I did not read in
Mhm.
school, and that's probably on there.
Right. So as Buffy's narrating, and then turns into Willow narrating, and she's in the library.
Oh, I had a question about that. I thought it was
Yeah.
just straight Willow reading that. No? It started
Now
off
it's Buffy at the beginning because my question is why did they do that? Why didn't they just have
Yeah.
Willow reading and then
Well,
going
maybe because
into.
they just wanted to make it a neat bookend, like, because at the end she's reading, so maybe it's
Yep,
just
makes sense.
okay.
So she's narrating, or excuse me, she's reading to Oz in the library. He's in werewolf form in the
Wolfie,
cage.
yep, Wolfie form, yep.
Did you think that his wolf look was better than Phase's?
No.
No, I thought
No,
it
I
was better.
don't.
I thought
You
it
did?
wasn't.
You think it's better?
I didn't think it was as spirit of Halloween.
All right,
The
I have to go look at the notes on IMDb because they called it something really funny. Hang on, I'm gonna go
Okay,
Buffy. Where is it? Buffy
I was doing a lot of
3,
IMDb today.
4. Oh, they called it something Possum. Let's see. Yeah, okay. They called it the gay possum.
Oh, that's the title of the episode. Done.
Beauty and the gay possum.
Done.
No, I didn't like it, and I didn't like how he was standing there and I don't know, it was weird, it was disturbing to me. Maybe because I'm just a purist with my werewolves and they're supposed to have snouts. Again, change,
I get it. I get
you
it.
know?
I have other comments about the look, but it's in a scene later on, so we'll get to
Okay.
it.
Alright.
Yeah, so she's reading to Oz. Oz in werewolf form is getting a little hyped up with all
Yeah.
this talk about chasing rabbits.
Yes. Yeah,
And
she tells Xander, "Just don't read the part about the rabbits."
yep, yeah, Xander comes in. He can handle Oz in the full Monty.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And then Willow's only and Oz have only had half a Monty, and Xander. So let me get your opinion. Like he kind of was like a little protective.
Possessive?
Possessive.
Possessive?
That's the word. He has no right to be that way,
Man,
in my
it's like
opinion.
that maybe is that like, feeding into the theme of this episode? It's kind of a throwaway moment, but
Yeah.
he has no right to be possessive.
No.
He's got his
So she
girlfriend.
exactly. Um, so he's gonna take over like Ozwatch for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
They bring up the fact that it's a multi-night event. Him becoming a werewolf. It's not just full moon. It's like
Yes.
night before, night after. Which I
Yeah.
remember we said in phases. Like
Yeah.
I never really heard that anywhere else.
Yeah.
So Xander's going to take over. My question: how are they getting in and out of this school at midnight, or at least it's nighttime? Like my school was locked.
That's your question? Okay, first of all, the library hours are until, like, 9 o'clock at night.
That's true.
And they've shown him when he's looking at the clock, it's like 5:30, so it's not that early when he goes in the cage. And
Right.
then how is the 12:30 shift person getting in? They're going underground.
They're going through the
They're
stacks.
leaping over the fence. They're going through the air ducts. Giles gave them a key. Giles had copies of keys made for them.
That actually is a very plausible
right?
explanation. Yep. And
I'm
Willow has
happy
to
to
go
help
home.
you, Sean.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Willow has to go home because she has a test. I'm like,
Yes.
she's been studying for this test for 5 weeks.
Well, she's gonna make sure that she gets that one extra night in.
So she leaves.
Yeah.
Xander immediately goes over to a table,
And goes to sleep.
uses a book as a pillow. It's like, dude, bring a pillow with you. Bring a hoodie.
Dude,
Bring
he's
something.
17 years old. Do you remember being 17 years old? You could go to sleep anywhere
Fair.
and wake
Yep.
up rested.
You're not
Now
wrong.
you get injured by sleeping with your head wrong on the pillow.
Mhm. So Xander is a crappy guard. That's what it comes down to.
And a crappy friend.
Yeah, yeah,
Still
very
letting his
true.
friends down.
Yep. We go to the cemetery. Faith and Buffy.
Yes.
Ever catch kids doing the ditty?
What?
That's what Faith asked Buffy. You
What
were
did
not
she
paying
say?
attention to this episode. Ever catch kids doing the ditty?
I don't even remember her saying that.
She did.
Okay.
And then Buffy said, "Well, like, no, there's makeout point over there or
Oh yeah, yeah,
something."
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yes.
Because then Faith asked her if Buffy and Scott are kicking the gear shift.
Oh my god. Is that when you
And then
texted me that she's filthy?
no, it was right after that. When then she asked, "Is Scott giving her that good down low tickle?"
Oh yeah, the good down low tingle.
Yeah,
Buffy says, "How low?"
yeah. Ah, what am I watching?
Maybe she just meant like butterflies in the you get
Yeah,
butterflies. That's not
yeah,
what she meant.
that's
That's
not
not
what
what
Faith
she meant.
talks
But
about. There's a mention of muffins, and I'm like, "Ooh, is this like a Scooby Snacks scene?" But
oh,
nah,
muffins, no,
nah. I think it's a
with
little
the,
much.
with the munchy crunchy stuff on top.
Which honestly, that's how I love my blueberry muffin.
When I used to go, when we were working at the hospital, and I would stop and get Dunkin' Donuts for my team, or just for myself, I don't know. And I get my coffee, and I get that coffee cake muffin. Do you know that coffee cake muffin? And I would just get there, and I would take the top off, and just eat the
And leave
top
the
part,
rest.
and then ask the pharmacist next to me, you know who, "Hey, you want this muffin stump?" Every
I
time,
also,
yes, yeah, great, thanks, Mel.
I also have a work muffin story
Oh,
that you'll get a kick out of. So we were doing a team like breakfast potluck because we used to have team meetings every Thursday morning. So we would
hmm
do like breakfast a couple of times a year, and potlucks. Everybody's supposed to bring something,
yes,
and one person, he had a mustache at one point, so you know
uh
who
huh,
I mean.
uh huh.
He had a hospital windbreaker on, puts his hands in both of his pockets, and pulls out two like wrapped Otis Spunkmeyer muffins and just tosses them on the table.
No,
Yes, and then somebody else brought in starfruit from her backyard,
oh,
but she said it was what fell on the ground. Then it's kind of dirty. So my joke with our friend Martha was, welcome to the potluck, pocket muffins and dirty starfruit.
that sounds like an album title.
There's a quick reference to, I think Faith said, all men are beasts. She's like,
Yes,
oh, that's.
all men are beasts. And then she says, every guy from Manimal to Mr. I Love the English Patient. That's two 80s references for you. Did you get either one?
I got the English patient one, but what about what's Manimal?
You don't remember Manimal was a short-lived TV show in the 80s, and it was a guy who turned from a man into an animal.
Uh,
Manimal.
like, what kind of animal? It's very vague. Like, Animal the Puppet from Muppets? Because that would be amazing.
No. No, he was like a I think the opening was like he was like a cat animal. I'm gonna have to find it and we'll post something for that too. But yeah,
Okay.
Manimal. I don't know how Faith knows about Manimal, but okay. It was a good reference.
Hmm.
From Mr.
Then
I Love the English Patient.
English patient.
They're all in it for the chase.
And then we
And
get
for
to
the
a
guy
chase.
being chased.
Yep, yep. We get the monster. We don't know it's a monster yet. Animal point of view,
Yep.
chase, screaming,
hmm
and credits.
Credits. Yep. And then we're in the school hallway, courtyard hallway, whatever. Scott Hope and his friends, who we learn are Debbie and Pete,
Yep.
meet up with Buffy, Willow, and Oz. And I said Scott. So Scott and Buffy are kind of dating now. He's very milk toast. He's very kind of
Meh.
blah. Like, I mean, I guess that's appealing to her at this point. He's just kind of like, "Meh." He's just nice.
Yeah. That's a really a good
From
way
one
to
end of the
describe it.
spectrum with, Angel to Scott, it's like quite
So
the
when I saw Pete, I was like, "Oh, I know him." I just texted you a picture. So
is
what
that
I
Pete?
texted you, well, I thought it was Pete. So this is Daniel. Probably gonna butcher the name because it looks like Giles, but there's an extra L. So Gillies? I don't know.
Geez. Gee. That's how you say it in French.
Really? Okay, maybe that's how it
You
is.
know, okay, I don't
Um,
know.
he was in the Vampire Diaries and then its sequel, The Originals. I
Okay.
thought that was Pete because
Oh,
they look very alike.
okay.
Uh, but it's not.
Oh,
I looked up Pete on IMDb.
yeah.
John Patrick White. He was in a bunch of late '90s stuff, like Can't Hardly Wait and that kind of stuff. But really nothing since. So I do not know Pete.
Okay, all right. That was a long story for I do not know Pete.
But,
That was a long
uh,
way around. Okay.
there's some
Um,
discussion with Oz about a marching jazz band.
yes, that was kind of funny.
I like Oz. I forgot how much I like Oz.
We Does the jazz band march? Well, it was improvisational jazz, so we were marching in all different directions.
I was going to ask you if your husband was around when you were watching that part because I think he would have appreciated
No,
it.
no, but now that we're talking about it and he'll listen and he'll probably get a chuckle.
Debbie and Pete are like talking about Buffy and Scott's blooming
Mhm.
relationship, and
Mhm.
asks if they are at the flower point yet, but they are pre-posy.
Free posy, I know. That was cute.
You know how like people like they put two parts of a couple's name together,
Yeah,
like so-
Jennifer.
yeah, Scuffy, Scott and
Scuffy.
Buffy.
I like it, Scuffy. I like
There's
it.
there's mention of Mr. Platt, the school
Yes,
counselor.
yes. And Debbie doesn't like him. And she had to go see him because her teacher told her she has success issues. What does that mean?
Same. I
What
don't
does that
know.
mean?
Fear of failure,
Fear of success?
fear of success. I don't know. Plot point to move the story along.
Okay, all right.
All right. In the library, they're talking about this student that died, Jeff Orkin, and all because Xander was napping.
Freaking Xander, man. He's like, no, no way. It was all locked. Everything was locked. He was secure. And then the window, unbreakable window, is open. But
Open.
I don't
Yep.
know. You think Oz in wolf form is going to get through that window? It was like that.
I mean, he is a slender guy. Maybe he's also a slender wolf.
Maybe it's Slender Wolf.
Slender Wolf. It's like Slender Man and Teen Wolf combined. Slender Wolf.
Like they're dating.
Scuffy and Slender Wolf. That if we didn't come up with the previous Gay Possum title, that might have been the title.
Scuffy and
But
Slender Wolf.
yeah,
Pretty
but we're
good.
sticking with the Gay Possum.
Yeah.
Uh, and so yeah, Oz is worried because he thinks he killed someone.
Yeah. And Giles was pissed at Xander. He yelled at him. He was really mad. And which is funny because later on in the episode when he catches Buffy sleeping, he's like, "Good morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Good morning. I brought you
Hey,
coffee.
I'm doing
Hello.
fine.
Are you okay?"
Would you like the stump of a blueberry muffin?
Right?
And I do think it's kind of weird that suddenly there's a window in the cage. I mean, I know they did it for plot point, but still.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then Mr. Platt. We meet Mr.
And then we
Platt.
meet Mr. Platt. Do you know who
Smoking.
Mr. Platt is played by? Mr. Platt is played by the guy who was in The Sweet Life with Zach and Cody.
How do you know that?
I looked it up, but I
Okay.
recognized him from he was in Heathers.
I did see that.
He was one
Um,
of the other yearbook students, I think, or something like that. in his
So
teen
I know
years.
there's a meme from, I think it's from Zach and Cody, where if it's the same guy, he's like teaching a girl how to drive. And he's like, why don't you relax? Turn on the radio. Would you like M or hmm? I have to see it. I think that might be him. If that's the case, huh? They also, then she refers to the gear shift as the Prindle.
The what?
The Prindle. Prndl. The gear
Oh,
shift.
the Prindle.
All right.
Yeah,
Um,
from
he's smoking a cigarette.
what?
That was not happening in the late 90s in
Maybe
California.
that's just to show that he's like counterculture, like he's not your usual guidance counselor. He's not stuffy like that. He's just doing what he wants to do and he's going to give it to her straight. And I mean, I didn't like it either. And I yelled at the TV. I didn't like that. But maybe that's it.
Yeah.
He's not your
I
typical guidance counselor.
fair, fair. Buffy was in her pastels,
Oh, yeah.
and
Okay.
I thought it was a butterfly clip, which I know is very late 90s, but it wasn't. I don't know what it was, but it
I don't
wasn't a
know what
butterfly.
it was either. Yeah. And then he says, yeah, I said he's a tough love, honest kind of counselor. And then he says, any person grown up, shrink, pope, pope. The way he said pope, I watched it a couple times. Pope, who claims to be totally sane is either lying or not very bright. And then Buffy tells him about Angel in the most general terms ever. And then he kind of like, I feel like what he got from that is that she was in an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's kind of leading her like, he changed, he got mean.
I mean,
So, and then
oh,
he's like, and you didn't
he.
stop loving him.
So yeah, they really are pushing the abuse.
The narrative,
Yep.
the abuse narrative.
Yep.
I feel like they needed to put, I was surprised at the end of the video or the end of the episode, they didn't do that little thing on the screen. If you or someone you know.
Yep. When she was discussing Angel, I noticed they were playing a variant of the Buffy Angel love theme very softly.
Oh, God.
It's interesting. I've never noticed. I definitely
You don't
noticed
pay
a
attention.
change to the music in this season. I feel like it's more. I know you kind of mentioned this in a previous episode. The music is playing more of a role.
It's very
Yeah.
prominent. Yeah.
But it's interesting that I've never noticed how many times they're playing that song or variants of it. I thought it was
Mm.
only like when she kills him in season 2, and that's it. But I picked it up
Oh.
a few times. Overall, what do you think of Mr. Platt's approach?
Um, I didn't mind it. I liked how he was like, "Yeah, I'm not your friend.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you," which I thought was really good.
Hmm.
But like I said a minute ago, I feel like he was kind of leading her and like, it's like you're as maybe because I've gone to therapy where they don't talk that much. Like they let you talk a lot. And then they don't offer you the next thought.
Yep.
They just listen until you're done and then they're like, "Okay, well so what I think I'm hearing is that," or
Mhm.
you know, but I don't know. It was fine.
My therapist used to start off every episode, excuse me, every session with,
Yeah.
"So, what do you want to talk about today?" And I did
Yeah.
not like that because, like, sometimes, like, I don't know. I know I need to talk, but I don't know. And he would just wait. He would just sit there and,
Well, Buffy went right in and was like, "I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. Basically, I don't want to talk."
yeah. In the library, Cordelia, I ate
She's
someone
so
last night.
funny.
Like, come on.
What happened? Oz ate someone last night. No, no.
I did appreciate that Buffy said, "We'll work together and figure this out." Um,
Yeah.
I just mentioned, at the beginning, I finished up that Throne of Glass series, and the main character is constantly just shoving everyone away and trying to figure stuff out
Yeah.
on her own, and it's constantly causing
Yeah.
problems. So it resonated with me that she said that.
Well, especially since that was a problem in the last few episodes, where she was just taking everything on and,
Hmm.
so yeah, it's good.
Faith,
She's making
yeah,
progress.
Faith is going to watch Oz.
Yep.
Oz goes to storm off because he's upset, but he can't because
I know.
it's fun.
But it's 5:30. He can't even the poor guy can't even get to do the dramatic storm off guy thing.
Now, let me ask you, what time did high school end for you?
2:15.
Yeah, so for me, it was around that also, and now it's 5:30. What the heck were they
Yeah.
doing the last 3 hours? That's what I want to know. Like, we know Buffy had her session with Mr. Platt, but
Buffy had her session,
the
yeah.
rest are just hanging out in the
Um,
library the whole time.
yeah. Yeah. There's stuff going on. They're doing research and stuff, man.
All right, fine.
They gotta research.
So Oz cannot storm off. He goes into the cage.
Yep.
He gets naked and he's like, "Hey, Willow, you want a piece of this?" Oh wait, no, that didn't happen.
I wrote, this cage has come in very handy in this show.
Yes, yes,
It's really good that this cage happened to be in this
yep,
library.
yep.
And I think next time I go to the library in town, I'm going to see if they have a cage.
I bet they do.
Is that a library thing? Well, I think I told you about the cages at my hospital in Gainesville
Yep,
in the basement,
yep.
and I wonder if those if they caged people up in there.
Oh,
I know there's equipment in there, but I wonder if that was like
was it an
they had
older
a werewolf issue.
hospital, like 40s, 50s?
I don't know if it was that
Oh,
old.
okay. I gotta say, I think the odds of cages are more likely.
The odds of cages.
Just saying.
It's like, you go to the horse races. What are the odds on the cages?
Okay. So Oz is in the cage. It's nighttime. Buffy's in the woods patrolling.
Yeah.
And who does she run into?
Feral
That's what
Angel.
I wrote.
Feral Angel, who has managed to find pants
Also, what I wrote.
since last time we. Yeah, he's got pants, but no shirt.
No. Oops.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. They have a big fight scene, and Buffy knocks him out.
Hmm. That must be pretty stunning.
That's
Must have been pretty stunning for her. Like,
yeah,
not only is
yeah,
he back, but he's like completely feral.
yeah. He's like all growly and stuff. Brr, brr, brr. Yeah,
In the morgue, Willow's
in the
doing
morgue.
some detective work with a lunchbox. Did you happen to see the lunchbox? It's a Scooby Doo
Yeah,
lunchbox.
that's so
I
cute. Yeah,
loved it.
yeah. And then she's going to examine the
Hmm.
corpse, Mr. Orkin's corpse,
Yep.
and she's got on gloves, which is good.
Hmm.
And she's got her little flashlight. And then Xander comes in, and Xander's not wearing gloves, but Willow's being very proper, and she's taking stuff from under the
Fingernails.
fingernails,
Yep.
and she's looking at the wounds, blah blah blah. She's very methodical. And then when Cordelia comes in, Xander's line made me laugh. We're doing crime here. You don't sneak up during crime.
Question I had for you as I was watching it. Do you
Mhm.
think that was like a real actor, like a real human, or was it like a prop
Oh,
body?
I always wonder that when you're watching like Law and Order or something. How often is the real body? I'm gonna say that was not a real person.
Okay.
What do you think?
I, I wasn't sure. That's why I'm asking the question.
I don't know.
I mean,
Could go either way on this show.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just had some schmo from lighting department come lay down on the table.
Get naked and lay on the table.
Cut some costs.
Back in the mansion,
Yeah,
so I had asked you if you saw what Buffy shoved off the, I don't know, it was a shelf, a mantle, and I heard you.
I saw I saw Miss Edith,
Yeah, it was a bunch of Drusilla's dolls.
a bunch of Drusilla stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and instead of Alice in chains, we get Angel in chains, and then she sees the naked angel shadow on the ground from where he appeared.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's what that was. I didn't realize whose shadow that was or the outline.
Got it.
Okay, Angel.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Yep.
So
Okay.
he,
So she chains him up.
yep, and leaves and goes to the library where
Yep.
Oz is in werewolf form. Faith is
Yep.
grooving with her Discman.
Holding up the headphone like
Oh
this.
yeah, you never dance like
And she
that.
doesn't hear Buffy.
No.
Like she had the headphones on like this. Not like they were noise canceling headphones.
And Buffy,
Not like that music was good.
I agree with that. And Buffy goes taps her on the shoulder, and Faith wails.
Bam.
That
Yeah.
that was the point where I'm like, okay, at first I didn't think that I liked this episode. It's been a while since I've seen it, just because the only
Yeah.
story part of the story I remembered was Pete. And I
Yeah.
just didn't. But then I'm like, oh, there's a couple of good parts in this one. That was one of
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So Buffy relieves Faith. Faith is gonna go stake a few vamps, get that low down tickle before she
Yeah.
goes to
Okay. So
sleep.
let me ask you this. So she's off to do some staking, some whatever slaying. What's her deal?
What do you mean?
where
5 by 5
where is she living?
in that
How is she
hourly,
supporting herself?
not
She's
hourly.
not in school. She have a day job
No,
somewhere.
she's in
What is she
school.
doing? She's a student at the school now.
I don't. Okay, I don't know if they specifically said that, but yes, she's a student at school. I don't think it's as
Okay.
much of a spoiler.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
So she doesn't have a job. Where's she living? Is she living with Buffy and Joyce?
no, she's living in that like weekly motel.
Oh, that's right, in the weekly motel. All right.
$18 a
Where's she
day.
getting money for that?
I
Where's
don't.
she getting money for that?
I don't have an answer for that one.
Paper route?
Could be. Could be.
What's her deal?
She's a hot dog on a stick.
Maybe. I can't see her wearing that outfit, but maybe. Okay, so then but when she leaves and Buffy's going to look up something in the card catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
We're back to card catalog.
Yes, I love it. Now you find them. We were just at a thrift store recently, and I found a card catalog there. That's where they all are now. The antique stores and thrift stores. Okay, so morning, and Oz is human and naked
Mm-hmm.
in the cage. And Giles comes in and opens the cage for him and goes over, and Buffy is sleeping, and he gently wakes her up. He's so nice. Um, and she's studying some books about demons, and one of them is about Acura,
A cop.
Acathla, right? And so then she's like totally lying to him. The next 5 minutes, he's like, "Why are you looking at that?" She's like, "Oh, well, I had this dream. It was very vivid that Angel is back." And why wouldn't you tell him that? He's the one person that you could talk to about this.
But I think she feels that she can't because number one, he's feral, and number two, he killed
Yeah.
Jenny. Like, would Giles
Oh, he
really
killed
be able
Jenny.
to, to deal with
Yeah, could he get over
that?
that?
I mean,
I
she
mean,
should have
he's
told.
gonna have to eventually.
Yeah, I think like she should have told at least Willow, but yeah, she didn't tell anyone. And then
Right.
kind of like in Dead Man's Party when Joyce just randomly insults Buffy's taste in art, Giles is like, I didn't think you knew what a card index was for. Jerk. Ew. Like, unnecessary.
Well, what's her GPA? Like a 2.8? It's not like anybody's, fooled into thinking she's a scholar.
Yep. So yeah, they're talking about like, the hell dimension and how there's a time difference, like what we saw in Anne, and he would have been tortured for centuries.
Oof.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I did like this one line about that there's two types of monsters, ones that can be
Hmm.
redeemed and ones that can't.
Right. Yeah, that's a nice little caveat he added there. So yeah, there's hope.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Hope. All right.
Willow comes in with donuts,
Yes.
glazed or cake.
Oh, what's your choice? Glazed or cake?
I do like the cake donut.
What's your favorite donut?
I like the ones. Honestly, I'm gonna, if we're talking like Dunkin', the chocolate frosted chocolate.
Really?
Yes.
Chocolate frosted chocolate, like a cake donut
Yes.
with the hole in the middle.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. Krispy Kreme. I'm not really a big Krispy Kreme guy.
Oh, have you had warm Krispy
I
Kreme?
have, and they're fine. But I think I grew up on Dunkin'. We didn't have Krispy Kremes on Long Island until
Same.
like right before I moved to Florida 20 years ago. They're
Yeah.
fine, but like between the two, I'm always gonna go Dunkin'.
Wow. Hot, fresh Krispy Kreme. It's like
It melts in your mouth.
glaze with air. It's
Not
so
sponsored.
good. And so easy to just eat 6 of them. Hey, Piggy.
Maybe that's our next
I'm
baby snacks. Donuts.
Oh my god, no. No. Um, I like donuts. I like Boston cream donuts if I'm at Dunkin'.
Yeah, those are
Boston
always
cream
good.
is good.
Yep.
But it's big, and I just only had one last year when we were in Charleston, on a trip, was, apple cider donuts.
Mm.
Ooh.
I made them. last year, year before. I think I gave you some.
Maybe. So yeah, they're so
They're
good.
good. They're
Mm,
very good.
yummy.
Yep.
All right, so back to the show. Willow brings in donuts, and she says she's been awake since the TV did that snowy thing. Do you think the TV still did the snowy thing in 1998?
No, I do
No.
not. No.
Do you think that's just an old person on the writing staff that wrote that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And then they're talking a little about the trip to the morgue was inconclusive.
Hmm.
We still don't know who did that. Was it Oz? Was it Feral Angel that we don't know about? We don't know.
Yeah.
So now we're in the cafeteria, and Buffy is having lunch with her boring boyfriend Scott and his friends.
Yep.
And Debbie is talking about Mr. Platt and that she doesn't like him. And don't tell him you have insomnia; he'll make you start a dream journal. And then Pete, with this line, "Is that a Barbie thing?" I don't get that.
No.
Is that a Barbie thing? But then he makes like a veiled gay joke and says, "Dear Dream Journal, why doesn't Ken come around since you got that earring?"
I didn't even get that.
And then Scott says his mom says that therapy can help, and Pete's like, your mom has the wattage of a Zippo lighter. I'm like, this guy's not even in his like Mr. Hyde form, and he's an a
Yes,
hole,
absolutely. Yeah.
right? Just like,
Yep. Did you see Buffy's plate?
what did she have on her plate?
Jello, Jello, and Jello.
Oh,
3 different kinds of Jello.
that's
One with
funny.
marshmallows.
That's funny.
Yeah. I
Yeah, she didn't want to eat hard food.
no. That's a lot of Jello.
Yeah, that was a lot of Jello, but she didn't eat any of it. She got up and left.
And left her plate of
Um,
Jello on the table.
left the plate of the somebody else can take that Jello away.
Rude.
And then Pete says, check out Scotty liking the manic depressive chick. And I was like, man, this guy's a jerk.
Absolutely.
He didn't need a special potion.
No, he was just an asshole.
Yeah. So now we're back at the mansion. Angel is still feral and chained up, and he's panting and growling. This is some great acting by David Boreanaz in this episode.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing him in
Um,
4 weeks.
yeah, that's right. And then we cut to the shot to the bracket thing holding the chains. You're like, ooh, okay, so we know that thing is going to give out eventually,
Yep.
right? They're not subtle with this, letting us know this. And then we are back to Pete and Debbie, and they're going into some closet room,
Yeah.
science lab, something on campus to make out.
Yep.
And there's this beaker of neon green liquid.
Mason jar
The
full of
only
Mountain
thing that's
Dew.
bright in that whole room is this neon green liquid.
Yeah. Mountain Dew.
And then he flips on her and he's like, did you drink it? And she's like, no, I was trying to get rid of it. And he's like, she says she wouldn't drink it. And then what's going on? What is she doing? And what is going on here? And then we find out.
That's what he.
But first, we're at Mr. Platt's office.
Mm-hmm. Buffy walks in and she needs help. And I felt bad. She really was spiraling.
She needs help.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she feels comfortable to confide in him, which is good. But, as is with Buffy, most of the time it doesn't work out for her because he's dead.
He's dead with his long.
He's dead. He's still holding his cigarette.
Yep. And yeah, he was mauled. I mean, definitely did not look vampire-ish, but yeah.
No, it did not.
Yeah.
It did not.
Yeah.
Back to Pete and Debbie, and Pete is angry, and he says, "All it takes to turn me is you and your annoying voice," blaming her. Ugh, this guy.
I know.
And then he does the crazy head shaking thing. I liked that. I did like that way they had him change. It was way more effective than just vamping out or something.
Yep.
And then smacks her around. Blech.
Yeah.
He's bad news.
Yeah.
And then we can assume he killed Mr. Platt, right at this point. And then he's like, "I'm all you've got, Debbie." And then he turns back into Pete. And then he's like all blaming her. You shouldn't make me mad.
I know.
I'm like, what was she doing to make you mad? She was making out with you.
Yeah. Yep. I know.
You got mad all on your own, buddy. And then he's all, like, kind of apologetic, but not really. It's like, I'm sorry you feel that way."
Yes.
One of those apologies,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
"I'm sorry you made me mad and made me smack you
Yep.
around. You know you shouldn't do that. Here, I bought you a dress, and here's some flowers."
The worst. And then out in
Like
the school courtyard, Oz and Debbie are talking, and Oz, nice guy that he is, he notices
Mhm,
something's up, and he's like,
mhm.
"Oh, I fell and hit a doorknob."
Doorknob, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic excuse.
And Pete in the background sees them talking and rages.
Yeah, you know who he's going after next.
Yeah.
Ugh. So now we're in the library, and, we're talking about what's going on, and they let Oz know that he's off the hook, it wasn't him, and he has a real look of relief on his face
Mhm.
because he's such a nice guy.
Yep.
And they figure out the common thread is the 2 victims is Debbie, and then they're briefly thinking, "Did Debbie do it?"
Right. I don't know.
Debbie does Sunnydale.
I don't know if you caught this, but it made me laugh. Oz is making the connection that Debbie and Jeff used to horse around in jazz band, and then Faith
Yeah,
says they were screwing,
yeah,
and everybody just
yeah,
looks at her like, "What?" And Oz just deadpan, like, "I don't think so."
yeah, that was funny. She's classy. And then they figure out it's Pete.
Yep.
Pete is the suspect.
Mhm.
Buffy and Willow go to confront Debbie in the girls' bathroom, and I liked Buffy's line. It's tough covering up a fresh shiner like that. You know what works? Don't get hit.
Yep.
Hmm. And Debbie's like, it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
She is so broken.
It's my fault. I make him crazy. Yeah. Battered wife syndrome for sure.
Uh-huh.
And then we see Angel break the chains off of that faulty bracket thing,
Mhm.
right? And he takes off, all growly.
Oz is in
And
the
Debbie won't give up on Pete. She won't tell them where he is or what's going on. He does love me. He does love me. He does love me.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
and then
Um, go ahead.
Oz is in the library, getting ready to set up for the night, and
Turn. Yeah.
Pete comes in, starts hulking out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, dude, you picked on the wrong werewolf.
Yeah. So they start fighting throughout the library. Now you normally catch
Yeah.
the stunt double things more than I do, but so throughout most of the series, Oz has red hair. In this episode,
Okay.
he is blonde,
Okay.
and when his stunt double's getting thrown around a couple times, it is red hair, like red, like this is a ginger.
They forgot.
They forgot. Yep.
Oh man. That's a good catch. So Oz finally he turns into a
Yep.
werewolf, and when the moon rises, and he bites Pete. That means Pete's going to be a werewolf.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't think about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have time to become a
Yeah.
werewolf though.
Yep.
The group comes in, and Buffy accidentally shoots Giles with the trank.
Bloody priceless.
Bloody priceless.
That was funny.
That was funny. Pete Lee runs out into the hallway, and he goes up into the air ducts that we are familiar with at this point to the school.
Oh, is that what it was?
Leaves
I
a
thought he
bloody
went out a
print.
window. Okay.
No, I think it was an air duct.
Okay.
Um, Oz is also out and about running through the hallways, so they're taking off after him with the trank gun.
Mhm.
Pete gets back to Debbie, who tries to tell him he needs to leave. She's trying to keep him safe, and he attacks her.
Yep.
Does he kill her?
I think
I don't know if
so.
yeah. I know when they find her, she's unconscious, but I wasn't sure if they.
Yeah, Faith is running after Oz.
Hmm.
Oz attacks her, and then Willow pulls his tail to get her off of him.
It was smart.
Yeah, it was.
Distract him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
He gets tranked. He gives a little whine, a little doggy.
Yep. Yep.
And then,
Um, Buffy follows Pete into the lab closet room,
yep,
finds Debbie unconscious, and then she fights Pete. And then we're going between, yeah, Faith gets him with the tranquilizer, Pete versus Buffy, and then Angel shows up. Still no shirt, but he shows
yep,
up.
yep. The pants are on.
Yeah. Then he beats on Pete and gives Pete the neck snap
Mm-hmm.
with the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, the old neck snap. And then he turns back to non-vamp and he goes to Buffy. And he says, Buffy,
On his knees. Hugged
on
her.
his knees, and she's crying.
Buffy Angel Love theme
Oh,
playing in the background.
oh God. All right. It's a new day at school.
I have to ask you, did you happen to notice Willow's shirt in this scene?
No.
So it's like almost like kind of like has like this tie dye ish hole, like right here in like the stomach area, like a literally not a hole, a round like a round dark circle. But it's like kind of tie
Oh,
dye. I'll put a picture up. But
okay.
it just reminds me of Goldie Hawn and Death Becomes Her after she gets her
Oh,
purpose shot.
yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. But
Okay.
they're talking about everything that happened and of course the school doesn't know that
Right.
Pete was taking the potion. I wish they would have said more about this potion, but
Yeah, it was just a potion he made to make him muy macho.
mhm,
Manliness potion.
with a little bit of help.
Um, the rumors are that he had eight ice mochas, or that he took his mother's birth control pills, and the estrogen made him do it.
They said that.
That yeah,
I missed that
yeah,
part.
yeah. She said it's better than the estrogen rumor that he took all his mother's birth control
I
pills.
mean,
And Cordelia's like, "Oh, that's not true."
I caught the ice mocha part. I missed that
The
estrogen
mochas.
part. Wow. Huh.
I'm going to use that excuse now. The estrogen made me do it. It was the estrogen. I saw a funny clip of Tiffany Haddish on TikTok the other day, and she was doing something, and she's like, "What was it?" She was like, "That wasn't me. The parasites inside of me made me do it."
I like that one.
So then Xander refers to Cordelia as Core.
Yeah, I like that.
Xand and Core
No, I'm fine with Cordy, but not Core.
forever.
Yeah, she's gonna be stuck with
And then
serious
Cordelia's like,
thoughts all day.
"Yeah, I could have serious thoughts all day." That was funny. And then Buffy goes and sits down next to Scott. And I was like, "Oh, she's gonna break up with him now." No,
No,
no.
no, she's consoling.
Yeah. You never know. And he says, "You never know what's inside someone. You just really never know someone." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right, Scott.
Damn right.
You don't know. You're gonna find that out even more
Mhm.
soon."
And then we end in the mansion again with Angel dreaming and clearly like under stress in this dream.
Still no shirt.
Still no shirt. Nope, nope.
She's not giving him a shirt.
I mean, um, and Buffy, she's clearly struggling, looking very pensive,
Yeah,
very torn, and it ends with
yeah,
more Call of the Wild being read.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. That's how it ends.
Yep. There was a lot going on in this episode.
There was, like I said, I at
One,
first I thought this was one I didn't like too much because all I remembered was Pete, but there are some good ports. Ports, wow,
there was a lot going on before we even really got to the Pete
yes,
part.
yep,
Like half of the show,
yeah,
even. I mean, the Pete stuff was kind of the background with the attacks, but the actual Pete stuff was came out in the second or third act. Even I
mhm,
don't know. It was
mhm.
interesting.
How many steaks
All
did you give
right,
this one?
I'm gonna give this one 3 steaks.
I will agree with you. 3.
Okay,
Yep. Favorite,
3 even.
yeah, favorite line.
Oh, there were a few in this one. I think I liked when Xander said, "We're doing crime.
That
There's no sneaking up in crime when you're doing crime." That was a good one.
was a good one. For me, it was when Buffy accidentally shoots Giles and the bloody priceless. Just the way he
Bloody Frank.
said it, and it just boom down.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I liked it.
That was good. So what's coming up next?
Next is season 3, episode 5, Homecoming.
Ooh, another dance, another school dance.
And it,
I think the last school dance we had was when she was in her cool outfit, the white dress
oh, the end of
with the
season
master.
1.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. So what do you think?
No, no, there was a pre-Halloween dance
Really?
in season 2. Yes.
Okay, I believe you. I just can't remember it.
It was the one with the, "I only have eyes for you."
Oh, the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Oh, the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think is going to happen in Homecoming? It's a good one. I gotta say, I like this
Buffy is not sure if she's going to go to the homecoming dance with Angel or boring Scott Hope.
one. Okay.
And then Scott Hope, I predict, is going to die a violent death, and that's going to let her off the hook.
Mm,
She'll be a little upset about it, but then that's going to clear the way for her to go back to Angel.
right. Okay.
Now, is that going to happen in Homecoming episode? I don't know.
Mm. I will have to say that Homecoming is one of my my top 3 episodes of season 3. I like
What? Okay. All right.
there's a lot happening in this
Have
one.
we seen another of your top 3 already?
No. Uh-uh.
Oh,
No.
okay. They're all later.
Season
Okay.
3
All
just
right.
keeps building.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So if you enjoyed this episode and you want to let other people know how much you enjoy this podcast, then why not leave us a review?
I'm trying to match your head.
Am I bobbing as I'm talking?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm loose. I'm feeling it. It's Friday.
Oh, you're loose. You're feeling loose. Loose goosey. All right.
If your podcast platform supports it, leave it there. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave us a comment. Facebook, kind of moving into socials now, but you can send us a message or just leave a comment on Facebook, and we're on all the socials except for X.
Except for X.
And Snapchat, because we're too old for that.
Yeah.
You can also email us, the sunnydalediaries@gmail.com. We may feature your email in a future episode. And we have a website. What's that website, Melanie?
TheSunnydaleDiaries.com.
And on that website, there is a button where you can get a invite to our Discord server and a
Push the
dog if you
button.
want one.
Push the button.
Push the button. Talk about Buffy with other people who like the podcast. I mean, what's not to like, right? You want an invite to the Discord server? Yeah. All right. Anything else on Beauty and the Beast?
I don't have anything else to talk about with Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
I do have things to talk about with us and our convention attendance coming up.
All right. Go for
I
it.
am going to be at Dragon Con, my first ever Dragon Con at the end of this month. I'm very excited, a little scared, but excited.
Why scared?
And there's going to be some celebrities there that I'm interested in, but I don't know if I'll even get a chance. I think it's going to be so crowded. But then Sean and I, the week after that, are going to be at Orlando Fanboy Expo.
Yes.
And we are going to meet some Buffy people there, and I'm really excited about that.
Yes, I am looking forward to it. I was telling somebody at work, and she was very excited for us.
Oh, yeah. So if you're also going to be at either one of those, keep an eye out. Maybe you'll find us and come say hi.
Mm-hmm. Look for the shirts.
Yeah, look for the shirts, and we'll have stickers, and we'd love to meet you.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that some of the Buffy actors will be staying at the same hotel we are. So we can just,
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. You never know.
Tequila in the hotel bar with them.
They got to stay somewhere.
Exactly. And from previous conventions that we've been to in Orlando, we know that some of these actors stay at the same hotel. So
that's right. That's right.
So
they're people just like us.
Exactly.
Celebrities. Yeah. They're just like us.
Eating an apple.
Eating an apple. That's right.
All right. So we'll be back next time for Homecoming.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.